Tired of the same old humdrum meatballs? Try my Asian turkey meatballs with flavors of cilantro, garlic, and ginger, and a special crunch. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. On our channel, we teach you all about celebrating. We show you recipes for food, hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, and we share entertaining tips. When we try and make it simple for everyone, especially those of you who say you can't cook or entertain, because I know you really can. So if you like this episode, hit the subscribe button and the like button and watch a new episode every week. Today, we're starting our celebration off with Asian turkey meatballs with a crunch. It's a mouthful, huh? It's a great appetizer or hors d'oeuvre and very easy to do. So let's get started. In my bowl here, I have just over a pound of ground turkey. It's maybe a pound and a third. One package, essentially. To that, I'm going to add a quarter teaspoon each of salt and pepper right in. 1 large garlic clove minced. You've seen me use garlic a lot. All of that out. The next is minced ginger, which is 1.5 teaspoons. Now, ginger, fresh ginger, looks like this. And sometimes it has more branches off of it and looks like a hand. All you do is you peel it. It's very fibrous, so you always want to dice it up or slice it and cook it. It's not something you want to eat raw. But it makes great tea, ginger ale. That's one of the Asian flavors. Right in. All right. Next, zest of a lime. You've seen me zest things with my little microplaner. This will give it a little brightness. 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. This is going to help bind it. It's plain old breadcrumbs. Cilantro. 2 tablespoons minced up. Use fresh. Next, scallions. Just the green part, sliced up. It's about a 1/2 cup. That's going to give it a little more zing. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. Now, I know it seems like a lot, but ground turkey is very, very bland. And that's going to add a very rich, deep caramely flavor and some salt. And finally, 1 egg beaten lightly. Dump it in. Simple so far, huh? Now, it took me maybe 10 minutes to prepare all these ingredients, so it's not long at all. And we're just going to mix this all together. Normally, I would get in with my hands, the best kitchen tools ever. I didn't want to stop and have to wash my hands 2 or 3 times, and I'll get them dirty later. You'll see. So we'll just mix this up to combine it well. Doesn't take long. Almost there. All right. Now these have a crunch, which I'll tell you about a little later. And I make them at Halloween. For Halloween, I call them bone crunching meatballs. All right. Here we go. All mixed up. Quite simple, huh? All right. Now we're going to form our little meatballs. I have just a little cookie sheet here. And I have my little small ice cream scoop. Holds about a tablespoon. And we're just going to form meatballs. Simple. Now, they don't have to be pretty. They don't have to be perfect. But using this little meatball maker helps you get pretty consistent sized meatballs. Right, there's a few. Let me just knock out the rest. Mm-hmm. All right, so now obviously this makes 2 or 3 more trays. I'm just going to show you one tray right now. Let's move this out of the way. And now for the crunch. These are water chestnuts. And you buy water chestnuts in a can in the Asian section of your supermarket. I got these that are sliced. It's an 8-ounce can. And then all I've done is I've taken each individual slice and cut it in half, like a half moon shape. And there's your crunch. So all we do now is we insert into each meatball. And this is where your hands are going to get a little dirty because you're going to have to reform these a little bit to cover up the water chestnut, but that's okay. And you can break them down a little bit if it's a little bit too big, but you want that little crunchy piece in the center. It's a nice little surprise. And as I said, when I make them at Halloween, that's why I call them bone crunchy meatballs. And I found this recipe in a magazine probably 20 years ago. I don't remember exactly which magazine now, but they looked interesting and they were a huge hit, and I've made them ever since. They are one of my most requested recipes when I have a party. All righty, almost done. All right. Right in. One more. Okay. Now our next step is we want to brown these. Give me a moment, I'll be right back, and we'll brown them up. All right, here we are ready to brown our meatballs. In my pan, I've got a couple tablespoons of olive oil just heating nicely. I'm going to take each little meatball, give a little roll with your impeccably clean hands to get back to that meatball shape. Carefully place it in, and that's what you like to hear, that sizzle. We're really just browning these. This will take a couple of minutes, but we're not going to cook them all the way through. They're just going to brown the outside, get a little crust on them. All right, we're going to cook these up in batches. You can already see they brown up really quickly. That's what you want, that nice little brown color. All right, and these are all browned. They only took a couple minutes because they brown really fast. It took maybe 4 or 5 minutes, but they're not cooked yet. I'm going to pop them into the oven, 350 degrees, for 10 to 15 minutes or until we get an internal temperature of 160 degrees. That makes sure that they're cooked all the way. So off to the ovens. Alrighty, here we are out of the oven, and I've put them on a plate for you. Our Asian turkey meatballs with a crunch. Now all I did was I browned them, popped them in the oven. 10 minutes it took, and they're 160 degrees. Let's give them a taste. Let's try this one. And all I have here is a little store-bought dipping sauce, but you could make your own, or maybe I'll share a recipe on a future episode. Wow. That's great. I'm getting ginger, scallion, and garlic. My favorite flavor is that garlic. And that nice water chestnut gives that crunch inside. Now the egg and the soy sauce kept it all moist, so they're just delicious. Need a little wine though. Wash it down. Delicious. So, question of the day, guys. What are you going to serve these with? Will you serve them at your Labor Day barbecue? Or maybe you'll serve them at Halloween? Let me know. As always, I'm going to have this recipe up in the comment section on YouTube. And we want to hear from you, so write us there, youtube.com/Let's Celebrate TV. And of course, that's where you can watch all of our episodes whenever you want. And always, also, Facebook, facebook.com/Let's Celebrate TV. We love hearing from you there too. So here we are, Asian meatballs with a crunch. I'm your host, Peter Lee. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Cheers.